Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Tosscast podcast. This is actually a parents' podcast, number three, with my good friend Anthony. For those of you who enjoyed the other night's the What's Up podcast, Anthony does have something to say.
What's up?
Oh, I love it. Yes, we will do another one. He is my friend, my good friend Anthony, is somewhat of a beginner, newbie when it comes to the world of Linux and technology and stuff like that. So I promise you guys we will do another one. Thank you for all of your kind thoughts. And Anthony, you need to take a look at that because there were some comments directed towards you saying something like, good stuff, welcome aboard, and you will love Linux Mint and stuff like that. All right, this is a parents podcast number three, and I've asked my friend to join in because he is also parent of a teenager. And this is something that I thought about last year. I did two parents podcasts last year. And this is something that has been on my mind because just this morning I came across two news articles. One is about an application, a smartphone app that allows you to avoid your friends. It's an antisocial app, which just sounds rude. And speaking of rude, how low can you go? Or how rude can you be if your phone is always tied to you? And you're avoiding your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you're at dinner, and do you really need to have your phone tied to you like an appendage, like a third arm, all the time? Uh, I thought about this. And look, there have been times where I will go down to the local grocery store. It's not that far from where I live. I can walk to the store. And I'll leave the house and I forget my phone, and it feels like I forgot one of my shoes or something, and I don't like that feeling. So have we become so super glued to our devices, to the technology, that it's becoming more of a harm, more harm than good? Now, Anthony had a couple insights into this about how technology may have affected your kid. But now you mentioned language and and stuff like that. Fill me in because it was a very good perspective.
Well, Toss, when I was coming up, all right, my dad always emphasized, speaking well, good grammar, and in school it was, really emphasized. And I kind of got into that. I mean, I remember, diagramming sentences, on the
Yeah.
board. I really enjoyed that, okay? So language has always been, something I took pride in. So now, I'm listening to my son talk, and I'm getting these short answers, okay? These very, very basic sentences, okay?
So, it sounds like a text message coming out of his mouth, right?
Exactly. It's like, can you answer this in 3 words or less?
Right, right.
And the vocabulary is very small, and so I'm concerned about his language skills, and I think this the fact that mostly they just text to each other has a lot to do with it.
For me, it was more of, having my son spending maybe too much time on the Xbox. Now, look, I enjoy spending some time on the Xbox, killing some time, especially here in the wintertime. It gets really, really cold, and I can't go out and play, as it were, go out for a walk, a jog, play some tennis, something that we both like to do. So if I'm stuck at home, I'm either talking to my friends like you, talking to my people who follow me on the channel, and just staying inside where it's warm and maybe spending some time on the Xbox. But that's my concern, where I think he may be spending too much time on the machine versus doing schoolwork or just spending time with his friends. But the thing with the language skill, that's a very astute observation. I never thought about that. Now, you mentioned something about vocabulary and not, yeah.
Right, exactly. I mean, I encourage him to use words other than just thing or stuff, but that's what they tend to use. These like just primitive nouns instead of
Right,
using something a little more accurate.
right,
Uh,
right,
and it sounds very bland. It sounds,
right,
very
right,
elementary. And I'm
right,
thinking, this is a guy that's, he's
right,
going to be out in the world, and people judge you by how you speak.
right, right.
What's up?
Folks, that was my friend DC Tech Man who just joined us. That is not the What's Up Master himself, Anthony. Okay, we were talking about
Sounds
DC. Thanks for joining in. This is Parents Podcast number three, by the way, and how social media technology has affected you, your family, the kids. Is social media or technology? And maybe it's destroying the family, not spending quality time. Now, Anthony had a couple had an observation that with technology, with cell phones, it sounds like that at least in Anthony's son, like if Anthony asks his son a question or has a conversation, his son might tend to reply in text bursts versus a conversation, which it's not
LOL.
happening to me, so I think it's kind of funny.
LOL.
DC TechBet says, "What? That's happening to you too?" Oh, that's between you and your wife. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. But
Whatever.
anyway, DC TechBet, has that ever is technology, smartphones affecting your kids where they're not completing or talking to you in full sentences?
No, I don't have that problem. I just have a problem just getting their face out of the freaking iPads and iPhones. They
Oh, so
just
the okay.
it's an attention span problem. Like,
Expand on that. What exactly is the problem?
well, they spend a lot of time watching YouTube, watching
Oh,
podcasts, and it's kind of been an exchange because the argument on their behalf is what is the difference from me sitting on the couch and staring at the TV or sitting on my bed and watching the Xbox Live
uh-huh.
versus me sitting here and watching my YouTube on my tablet or on my phone? What's the
Okay.
difference? It's just a different medium
Okay.
because so I get that. I get the argument.
Okay.
They used to spend a lot of time watching Nickelodeon and when they were kids, and now they don't watch that. Now they're watching content that is
Uh,
more or less being fed through YouTube. So,
okay.
but they're older.
Right.
I got two older kids, so
Okay.
I understand their attention span and their likeness of what is on TV may not be tickling
Okay.
them enough right now, and they see
Okay.
more interest in the stuff that's coming out of the internet and watching YouTube and podcast and my
Right.
one son likes to watch a lot of that live or recorded video gameplay where they actually
Ah.
comment on what they're actually playing on the Xbox, and he watches
So
that.
so that is replacing, say, ESPN or the History
Yep,
Channel. That's what you
yep,
think? Okay.
yep.
Anthony, do you have that problem at all, or do you watch YouTube that much, or podcast, or is it mainly? I know you said you mentioned sports. Is that what you do mainly?
I've noticed that, of course, we're already fighting, teen
Yeah.
attention spans, okay? And,
Right.
teen short answers and the evasiveness. This is
Right.
just making it worse because, you get a text message, usually they're short, okay? Then they reply. That's why they send thousands because they're short and they're constant. So, now you're trying to explain something, okay, to your child, okay, and you're making face-to-face contact, which they're not used to. You're making a long explanation, which they're not used to,
Okay.
and here's the attention span problem again now.
Okay. I This morning I was browsing through the news as I usually do every morning when I wake up. Either I'll catch it on the radio or catch something on my phone. And sometimes, well, this morning was a couple things that got my attention that I'm not sure I liked. In fact, I don't. Apparently, there's some kind of antisocial app, and this app helps you avoid people or friends that you don't like. There's an actual smartphone app for that. And to me, that sounds so wrong. Now, I'm not saying, this isn't like, well, maybe you're sick, you had a bad day or something when you just wanted to have some time alone. No, no, this is a specific piece of technology that lets you actually avoid people and in some cases friends. DC Techman, I'll start with you. How does that sound?
Sad.
Yeah.
That's the word. Sad. It's you actually have to have an app to go and become a loner. That's what it sounds like. You're gonna
Anthony,
become
what do
a
you say? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
what do you, yeah.
I mean, it sounds debilitating. I mean, now, you don't even know what to
Mm.
do until you find an app to tell you what to do to handle a situation in life. God help them.
You think, I just thought about this, popped into my head, but you think maybe technology might be dehumanizing us or desensitizing us in a way?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. But at the same time, you're also creating a culture that is no longer able to interact one on one when they actually have the opportunity.
Mm,
You
yeah,
know, unless it's behind a
yeah.
screen or behind some type of a microphone or a texting pad, they don't really know how to act in the real world.
So they're losing a piece of their humanity in a way.
I think so. I just wonder how these kids would do in an interview. You know, an interview, what their interview skills would be like. You know, if they don't have a texting pad in front of them or a touch screen or something.
I Anthony, what do you say about that?
I agree. I mean, I was thinking the same thing, if you're going for an interview, which is what we're preparing our young people for.
Right.
I'm also envisioning how are they going to handle an argument, face-to-face argument, whether it's with their girlfriend or their best friend or their wife or husband down the line, and they're having an argument face-to-face, where you can't just say anything you want to behind the screen, because it seems a lot more remote and safer. Now you're face-to-face with someone and you're not going to be able to argue like you do on your phone. And what about their issue resolution skills? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
kind of thing that can cause permanent damage in a relationship.
It it seems to me that we don't know when to hit the off switch. We don't know when to say, you know what, this is family night, or this is something that we want to do tonight or plan for the weekend. Let's put the technology aside for a day or an evening or even a weekend. I see technology as a tool, like a toolbox, a drill, a hammer. It can be something constructive or something destructive. I've been very fortunate for myself running this channel. This month will be 4 years. I've met a lot of friends online doing other podcasts, with other content creators, and I've been very, very lucky uh, to have this medium where I can meet and share my knowledge and gain knowledge. But I've always put family first. So for myself, I'm pretty sure I know when to hit the off button, and just to say, you know what, I was planning on doing this, or you know what, I've had a request for this, or how do I do it? But you know what, for tonight or for this week or the weekend, I need time for myself and for my family. I have no problem doing that. And now call it, being lucky or the way I think or common sense, I don't know. But technology is a tool. And like I said, it can be used to hamper humanity or, I guess, destroy it. There was another thing I caught this morning on the news, and there was something about, you know, being rude. I think the headline was, "Do you want to have dinner with your smartphone or with your companion? Pick one." Now you guys know what I mean. Say you're at a place having dinner and someone's talking loud on the phone, or maybe in a theater. Uh, I think it is rude. Uh, when I'm outside the dinner, I don't want all this chatter around me. And now it's one thing if you're really, really, expecting an emergency call or something. I get that. But take it to the side. Walk outside if you have to do it. Same thing in the theater. If it's really an important call, walk outside or walk into the lobby. How do you guys see it?
Well, Toss, I'll tell you, I agree with what you're saying as far as technology ideally should enhance our lives. Okay, our virtual lives should not be in competition with real life. At the best, it should enhance real life. And my philosophy is technology should serve us. We should not serve it.
Yes, I totally agree. DC Tech, what do you say?
It's technology has a place,
Okay.
and I believe that we are better for it. We
Okay.
just have to know how to deal with it.
Okay.
It's just like anything. You know, too much of one thing can destroy you. It can make you sick. It can make you ill. And I believe that technology just falls right in that same category. You know, you eat. Say you got you like French fries. You eat way too many French fries. French fries. French fries. You're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Same thing with this. You have too much technology exposure. You know, all your life, you just cannot seem to get away from a screen in your hand
Right.
or
Right.
watch. It's just going to it's too much of a thing. One thing is going to destroy you, or it's going to actually hamper your life. I think came to mind when you were mentioning all this stuff about apps and things like that that actually, will turn you into a hermit.
Yeah.
I have the opposite of that. I have a family member that has they have dinner time, and they went out and bought a cage, and I can't remember the name of the company that makes this, but what it is, it's a device that you put in the center of the table, and all your electronic devices go into this little box. It's like a little cage.
Uh-huh.
Once it's in that box, you flip it. It's either battery operated or plugs in. But
Mm-hmm.
once you flick the box on, what if it's in there? It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have signal. It doesn't
Hmm.
work. So if anybody's getting a phone call, getting a text, or whatever, it's not working. If you
Okay.
put it in there, it's like a zone free. When they're at the dinner table, it's an electronic free zone. So everything goes into
Mm.
that little cage until they're done eating. And then when they're done eating, you take it back out, and then you can catch up with all the stuff that was going on, your
Okay.
emails, your texting,
Right.
your phone
Right.
call that you missed. But while they're having dinner, any electronic device that they have on them goes inside that box.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because my next thought was going to be, and I'll let Anthony chime in here in a second, but my next thought was going to be, do we have to set the example? And I think what you just stated, DC Techman, that is a very good example, because now it's an even playing field.
Hmm.
Everyone, your devices for a few hours or whatever, just enjoy each other's company. But
Exactly.
that's a good idea. Anthony,
Exactly. Well,
yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree. We need to set a good example. Let me share with you a bad example. I was in
Okay.
a store the other day, and
Yeah.
I see this little boy. I'm thinking he was maybe, I don't know, 5, maybe 6, and he comes into this store, and I noticed that his head is down. He's looking at this, looks like a phone, okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so his dad's looking around. He's just standing over, by himself, staring at this phone. Finally, his dad finishes his transaction, and
Yeah.
he wants to leave. So, he calls to him. So the boy wanders over to his direction. The father like grabs his shirt, okay, and guides him out of the store,
Hmm.
through the doorway so he wouldn't hit anything because the boy's eyes had never left the screen. It was like he was a blind boy being
Mm.
led by his father who was holding on to his shirt.
Okay.
How you like that?
It's it's sad. It shouldn't be that way, but I think it is up to the parents to set the example before it's too late. At least that's how I see it. But yeah, something like that, you really don't like to see that, do you?
No.
All right. The time's almost up here. Let's. Any final thoughts, DC Techman? What do you say? Just to close it out here.
I'd say in closing, technology is a good thing. I don't have any problem with it. I enjoyed. I've enjoyed it for years, and it is a tool, and you have to view it as something that it enhances your life, but it
Yes.
doesn't. It should not. It should not make your life. You should
Okay.
not be dependent in order to like the air that you breathe. You shouldn't be dependent on this device in order to live your life.
Sounds reasonable. Okay. Anthony, what do you say?
Well, like Rich said, technology, it's a tool, and like you said, it can be, good, bad, or neutral. I think if we're going to, put this kind of technology in the hands of our children, we are going to also have to put, in their heads, a sense of safety, security, and responsibility.
I want to end this on a high note, and technology should be used to enhance your life and make it more pleasurable. Kind of like what we are doing now, using internet calling technology. So ultimately, I suppose it's really up to the parents, the family as a group to say, you know what, for a while, for today, for tomorrow, or whatever, let's just let's it's time for the off switch and spend quality time with family. And I've been lucky enough, when it's time, stop it and don't turn the computer on, don't do this, go out to dinner, whatever family gathering, and just put put the technology aside and use it as a tool to enhance your life versus the opposite. And I think, gentlemen, I think I would leave it at that. All right. right, I would like to thank DC Tech Man and Anthony, and we will do another What's Up Tosscasts as promised. Anthony will have some more to share about his personal journeys with Linux, Windows, and his first smartphone. So that should be very interesting. All right, at this time, I would like to insert some bloopers. I'm actually right in the middle of doing the editing, and I thought you guys might enjoy this because. Anyway, as we edit these sometimes, they don't always turn out the way they want to. And for Anthony, as I said, he is a newbie when it comes to this, but I thought he did a very good job, but I thought you guys might enjoy some bloopers here at the end. Some edited bloopers. Thank you.
DC-10,
Yeah.
right? DC Tech. What is it?
DC
DC Tech?
DC Tech Man.
Oh, DC Tech Man.
Yeah.
Wait, how you gonna edit that?
To make a noise, block it out.
3, 2, 1, say it.
DC-10.
No.
DC Tech.
Tech
DC
Man.
Tech Man.
Let's
Okay.
try it again. 1, 2, 3, go.
DC Tech Man. DC Tech Man. DC Tech Man.
But I
DC
want you to say this as DC Tech Man said. Ready? 3, 2,
Oh.
1, go.
Like DC Tech Man said, as DC Tech Man pointed out.
As
Well, keep it
Dickme,
rolling.
as Dickme said. I'm gonna put
Nice.
this as this is
So
the
much for
bloopers.
the family show.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh my
let me get it.
God.
Let me lay down a few more here. Hold
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
on.
He's out of control.
Uh,
Don't make me laugh.